There's the practice side of things, how we communicate, how we connect, and then there is the principles side of things. And if you master both of those, that's what makes coach unstoppable, because then they have both elements. The personal development side of things is like that practical skills side. If you have these types of skills, that's the heart of being a coach. A coach that has that, and this is where we see a lot, they're just so good at connecting, they're woo-woo, you know, they build up these massive followings because people like buy in, they trust them. But if they don't know shit, that does nothing. But then you get some people, like some friends of mine, that I'm like, never go out in public and talk to another human. Please. Please just stay in your laboratory, send me the research that you come up with because it's freaking rad, but don't talk to humans ever. Like, absolutely fine. Yeah. And so, but that's on the human movement science side of things. So it's the principles, right? You have a little bit of both of those, you're unstoppable. Like, that's where the game is. And that's what we've tried to develop for both of ourselves. And so it's figuring out, well, what those are so you can balance it. So when we're looking at personal development side of things, and this is what we're gonna talk a lot about today, is the coaching communication side of things and just being present, right? Did I say everybody's name when you walked in? Did I greet you? Did everybody get a high five or some form of connection? Sweet, cool. Was it pretty much instant when you walked through the door? Cool, I have an advantage. No one else was in here. I was talking to James, you know, I'm talking to Shaylin, but yeah, that's that whole thing. Present with you guys, right? Leadership and client engagement. How you lead the client is the other main thing, because you're gonna have clients that are very scared, very nervous, very apprehensive, or you're gonna have a team sport, and you're gonna have to lead them to the outcome that they say they wanted or that you know that they need. And so how you engage with that client is gonna be another level to this. Programming and progression design, it's on the personal development side of things because honestly, being a personal trainer is a practice. It is something you practice every day. A practice is something that you continually develop those skills, and it takes skill to be able to program and to be able to know how to progress and regress exercises. It is less science on that as it is more intuition on what that person needs, what they are telling you. And that's why we do that at the very end of like the internship, is like diving deep into actually how to write a training plan. Yeah.
Important point to make with this is like, this side is crucial, and this side, or the programming and progression design, is normally where people stop first. So like, you have people that are really good at talking and coaching and being present, and then they just stop progressing and learning and changing and adapting. And this will root you out quickly. And there's a lot of people that coach like it's 2005, and that's when they got their training certificate, and they just, like, this is what I do, this is how you train. And there's now 2 decades of new information, and they just walk in and they're like, we're doing West Side 5x5s and power cleans, here we go. And that's about it. And you try to educate, you try to ask what's new, and there's just like, nope, this is what I do, I've done it for 20 years. So if you lose this, if you want to be a coach and this is not something that is at the forefront of your mind all the time, it's just not going to work out for you. Or it will, and other coaches, peers will look at you and be like, well, yeah, it's all right.
If you want a group fitness generalized program, like, there's nothing wrong with that, right? It's an awesome gateway that helps a lot of people and affordable. So like, I don't knock any of it.
Yeah.
But does anybody know the one like exercise that if they have clients do here, they'll just immediately get fired? It rhymes with furpies. Yeah, I didn't want to actually say rhymes with herpes because that just sounds bad. But I thought about it.
Well, it technically does.
I mean, you know, it's not wrong. Yeah, it's burpees. 2007, when I started my first space, like, yeah, I had people do burpees. Think about how bad that exercise can be for someone if their body is not prepared for it. You literally slam your body onto the ground. Usually it's for cardio, so you're really fatigued. Then you try and push yourself on up, which is usually not the greatest for your shoulders. So you like drop down, slam down. Now I'm arching my back, right?
Especially if you're trying to go fast.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna like hop in. I'm on my toes because I'm fatigued, rounding my back, knees come in. I come up and I do this and I flop to the ground. Do you think I could find some better exercises to make people a little bit more conditioned? Are there better exercises to capture the push part of that, the squat part of that, the jump part of that? Like, it's unnecessary. Yeah. So it's one of those things where we can choose better exercises. Yeah. So we make better decisions. Once you know better, do better. So I started with that. And I was like, oh, that's not the greatest exercise, especially for people that are desk workers that are just trying to actually get better. And most of the time, it's just a coach that's just being like, haha, we're doing burpees. I put it on the board.
It's a punishment.
Just because they want to be an asshole.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I want to punch people who work out. No, I want to actually make them inspired to actually do so and get some results. Like, instead, I just jacked up your back. Yeah, exactly. And then we'll make a sport about it. I'm like, okay.
It's gonna come back if you have to do burpees.
What's up?
That's true.
No one's coming back if you have to do burpees every time.
Yeah.
I've never met someone who writes, like, I've done a lot of burpees in my life, and there's never, it was either a punishment in a sport,
Oh yeah,
or it was like,
that's all I remember doing.
the coach writes it, and you look at the board, and you're like, why are we doing burpees? And they're like, because I said so. And you're like, all right, cool. This is going to be great. Thanks for doing that. And then they think it's funny. So
Yeah.
people know.
Yeah.
And it does get us in the hot seat sometimes. There's definitely been people, when we do like certificates, they'll find out we don't do burpees and be like, oh, I know what kind of gym this is. And it's like, all right, cool, man. Do burpees. But it's always CrossFit people, so I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, now High Rocks more than anything else. And if
Oh,
somebody
yeah.
tells me they're going to train for a High Rocks
Yeah, do
competition,
burpees.
they're going to do a Spartan competition, right? Spartan race. Cool. We're going to do burpees.
Yep.
These are the exceptions. You have a goal.
Yeah.
Let's learn how to do them highly effectively and very well for your body. Let's break down the move. But I'm like, you look at any NFL team and their strength and conditioning program, show me one that does burpees. Show me an MLB program that has their, multi-million dollar athletes doing burpees. Like, show me a sport.
I could show you some high school coaches that have do it.
Absolutely. But I'm like, we've got this like weird thing where they're like, oh, this is the new way. Okay, if I just do High Rocks, I'll get in the best shape of my life. And I'm like, it'll definitely get you in really good endurance cardiovascular shape. You're not gonna get the strength that you think you're gonna get, and that's okay if that's what you want. I'm all for it. But ultimately, it's like we see something because the mainstream is doing it, and it looks hard, so we think it's good. But if you really look at the most fit people, go look at 100-meter sprinters to 400-meter sprinters, and they're all like men, women, they're jacked and shredded. And I'm like, maybe they do Olympic lifts, they do some strength stuff, they run really fast a couple times a week, and that's it, and they're in the best shape ever. Who are we looking at for inspiration, like on general pop, And I'm not saying we need to do those things because we don't aspire to be at that level, especially not someone that's 70 working on balance, but the principles is what it's about. And if we can hit both of those sides, we're unstoppable, because then when somebody says, but I want to do this, and be like, cool, but let's go back to your real goal, and we understand, we have the knowledge. So, number 4, business career development. Absolutely critical to still understand the basics of sales, the basics of managing yourself as a business, and to know the trajectory you want to go with your career. All right, so let's go on to the human movement science side of things. We have functional anatomy. So we need to understand how the body works, like what it is that we are working with, so that we're not in our heads going like, yeah, I'm gonna get this person's calves really big, and you're talking about their shoulders. Applied biomechanics. We need to understand how levers work. We need to understand how it works when we're putting load on something, what we're getting out of, so we can make it highly effective. If we're doing, just the same level of bicep curl, I like to use this example, and a concentration curl, kind of the age-old bro one. I'm like, yeah, it's fun. You kiss the bicep every once in a while. I'm all for it. But this down here, with a weight, am I having any tension down here? No, it's not until about here. Now, Ethan used these examples literally the other day with our team meeting. If I'm leaning back or I'm on a bench, now I have full stretch. Oh, yeah. So it's understanding biomechanics to be able to give a client faster results. Exercise physiology, understanding how exercise works and applies, and then motor control and learning. So motor control is where we actually get to some of those balance components that we were talking about, and how the body actually learns a movement pattern and all of those things. Your coaching communication, because we're going to go into a full presentation on all that type of stuff today, but it's really your verbal cueing systems, your nonverbal communication. We're going to talk a lot about like body language, those types of things. Coaches might have already talked to you about that, or you may have picked up on some things. And how to be active listener. human movement science, to Ethan's point, pay attention. Your Newton's laws in human movement. Newton kind of nailed it. You know, it still makes sense.